Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Baer, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Yo, what's up?
I was going through in my mind how to do that opening, and I still screwed it up.
2 weeks off, and you lose all of your fucking rehearsal and all the repetition that you've built up for 6 years. What happened, man?
Well, it really wasn't off. I mean, I was still like sitting on my computer, like listening and paying attention and talking in chat.
2 week vacation. Chilling.
Yes, 2 week vacation, just doing nothing.
Literally nothing.
Out on my porch, just like watering my plants, you know. Not a care in the world.
Just laying out on your heat rock, eating small mice while they're still alive.
Me and Annie just laying out there, just hamming it up. Just 2 cats out in the town.
1 cat, 1 lizard. Come on, man.
I screwed that up. But in other news, Wyatt looks like Chuck Liddell. That's official. Or Baby Zangief. I'm not sure.
Baby Zangief. Yet. That's the one I want. That's the one I want.
So good. They're both so good.
I got a new haircut for our Viking campaign over on Turbo Nerds.
Many of you guys are just listening to this, but we do perform it live every Wednesday, soon to be Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard. Yeah, real soon. Fucking getting tired of this.
So soon we don't even know.
It's so soon.
You better know. Now. I have other responsibilities. You got to give me 2 weeks.
Wait, I thought we already did that. We're like, okay, let us know. Like,
no, you tell me we're moving to Thursday 2 weeks from now so that I can make adjustments with the other channel. That's what we agreed to. So until you say 2 weeks from now we're moving to Thursday, then it's still up in the air.
2 weeks from now we're moving to Thursday then.
I
thought we were on the fast track.
It's so secret we don't even have a date.
I'm steering us back onto the train tracks.
So the 3rd is when we're moving to Thursdays. The 3rd of September.
That sounds great. Let's
Breaking news.
All right, cool.
The 3rd.
Putting a pin.
That's set. After this, I have to go talk to the other channel people. So don't fucking backpedal on me.
Who, me?
Yes.
Kenny started this. No, it's happening. That's fine. I think it's a good move personally. Like at first I was like, nah, this is just a coincidence.
Yeah, I thought it was going to blow over and it didn't blow over.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
Okay, well.
That's right, Cletus. We'll do another podcast tomorrow.
Yeah, be right here tomorrow.
It's upsetting. Yeah, obviously, we talked about wounds last week. The literal 5 hours after our podcast drop.
Yeah.
Invalidates the content entirely. Shout out to GW. Keep an eye out on us. Keeping us honest. Keeping us on the path. But before we go into that shit, let's just turn it over to Wyatt and hit us with this perfect, he's curated comedy section.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, I don't know if this one's going to be funny or not. This one's on the face of it seems like a softball, but it might be a real thinker. Would you rather, for the rest of your days, sleep with no pillow or no blankets? Like no sheets, no blankets.
Oh, this is easy.
This is not smell related. How's this easy?
Well,
and you're a lizard.
Depends.
So obviously you need to have your blanket, so no pillow. You would freeze to death.
No, that's not. Well, I mean, is there a thermostat like a normal house? Because
I'm sure there is.
Unless the AC's blasting and, I'm probably just set it to normal and I'm just like, okay. See, I got these mantis limbs sort of things and I don't like to be covered up.
All right, got it.
I don't know. It's weird.
So you're just going to crank the heater every night?
I leave it at 73 overnight? Is that warm? I don't know.
You set your thermostat to 73? Who are you?
Is that cold or is that warm?
Colder than I remember whenever I used to come over to your house.
Well, that's about what I keep it at.
I used to fucking cry at you to crank the AC when I come over to your house. Fucking, and then you come over to my house and put a jacket on.
You're yeah, it was like, dude, it was like 50 in your house. Even Bonet was like, turn the heat on. She was more about the heat than I was that one time.
I just came down here, saw you in my office with a jacket on, typing. Like, oh yeah, I forgot. You're cold-blooded.
I mean,
I'll take a no pillow, fuck a pillow.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to have a pillow.
I feel like
my shoulders are too big, so my head would just be like all crinked up like all the time. I have to have a pillow. I mean, I think both options would be hard for me. I don't like, maybe some of our listeners, like I have, like if you already have sleep problems and like you have like your system and that system gets fucked up, you can't sleep at all. Like I can't stand that. So
Can I game this by like sleeping on the couch and using a couch pillow?
Nope.
No. Oh, what about the armrest? That would be a pillow, wouldn't it?
Can't use the armrest?
Nope.
Can I use a backpack? Discarded backpack?
Roll of paper towels?
Nope. No head support of any kind.
My own arms.
Ooh.
No.
Dang. Your arms would zap you with electricity if you tried.
You just wouldn't physically be able to do that. Or I could be really mean and your arms just like poof, disappear while you're asleep.
That's good. It's better.
And then like reappear in the morning.
I'm with it.
No, I think it'd be tough for a pillow. I could go without blankets in a normal environment, I feel like. But then of course the genie would make me live in like Alaska where I would need a blanket and not a pillow.
No, you can change your whole lifestyle to support your choice. The genie's okay with that because that's inconvenience.
I feel like if I lived up north, I would need a sheet and not a pillow. But in the quasi south, where even though there's more south on top of this, but that's the north supposedly, and then the deep south is south. I'm still trying to figure it out where I live, but for the most part,
it's all fucked up, man.
It's very good. They're like, Virginia's the north. I was like, but is it?
But is it?
But is it? And they're like, oh, Georgia, that's the South. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's the South. It's about as South as you can get.
Kara says, can you use your lady? No, nothing. But that's what I was going to be. My point was like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been sharing a bed with a lady for 8 years. Pillows, I don't even own a pillow now. They are hers. So usually it's 9 pillows to support her framework of perfect sleeping and how she wants to be, framed. And it's ridiculous. Like a knee pillow, 2 wrist pillows, shoulder pillows, like 4 head pillows. So what's happened over 8 years is like all pillows are hers except this one pillow that I brought with me when I entered this relationship, and it is 15 years old, flat as fuck. It barely isn't there. I had to like fold it a couple times to put it behind my neck to watch TV a little bit. And then she's like, do you need another pillow to watch TV? I was like, yeah. And then half the time I just don't even remember, like it falls off the bed and I don't even notice because like I've basically for 8 years not had a pillow. So
it's so thin. Yeah.
Not a problem.
It's like a wafer pillow at that point.
And she's like, you can get a new pillow. I have bought 7 new pillows since we've been together. They're like supporting your legs and your shoulders. I don't own pillows. So, easy for me.
Yeah. I feel like it's environment related, but
I take all my comfort in my blanket now. That's how I treat myself to sleep. All my sleep comfort. And I did try experimenting by using my arms, but my bolder head makes my arms instantly fall asleep, so that doesn't work. Gotta get a My Pillow, brother. Kaz in chat says, I will look into that. Are they shaped like anime characters? I already have one of them.
Isn't that the one that's like as big as you or whatever?
Oh, yeah, a waifu pillow?
No.
Oh. I guess they make them for guys.
I have one of Dwayne Johnson.
They exclusively make it for guys.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's kind of the whole point.
In chat, Imperius, he's like, holy shit, 15-year pillow must be have dust and mites. Oh, yeah, for sure. Bonet constantly complains about getting bit by stuff in the night. The mites work for me. They don't bite me.
You give them the choice dead skin flakes.
Oh, they were birthed in my skin flakes. Like they recognize me as their progenitor.
Mm-hmm.
So like, speaking of progenitor,
God, that is vile.
Speaking of that, so update on my boomer lifestyle, my garden. Also, official news is like now I have a tank model. Wyatt forced me into a tank model. He mailed me some Doja blades, and there was a Team Yankee taking.
It was a surprise tank.
So
That's how
I
it starts.
started watching World War II documentaries, and now I have a tank model.
Welcome.
But to catch you up on the status of the garden, so obviously we had that mantis I was training to kill a spider army. Went missing. Got him. That already happened. Then I told you guys about how we saw that there was a bunch of caterpillars, and one of them had taken to the window, crawled all the way up, and made his chrysalis. And I saw there was like 30 more, and I was like, oh, we're about to breed an air force of moths to fuck these spiders shit up. So then a couple days later, the other ones started taking to the air, making their little chrysalis. They were like in the intro stages. There's still like 12 more in the pot. Go to bed, wake up, all gone. One chrysalis. The first chrysalis is still up there. Every caterpillar, every new chrysalis, gone. The fucking spiders, during the production phase of my new fucking Air Force, I must have employed the fucking, like, infamous bird army.
Yeah, I was like, I think the birds got them, dude.
Called their allies, the birds. All of them are dead. We got one. He hatched. He flew off, and he wasn't even a fucking awesome moth. He was a goddamn butterfly.
He was pretty.
But
Damn.
Bonet was able to film him floating around and pollinating, and now I have like 30 new caterpillars. So like, we'll see if we can keep these ones alive. And then ominously, I found a corpse of a dead rat on my doorstep this morning. I think the spiders are really upping their intimidation game.
We know spider bros kill the skeeters. Like you kind of want the spiders.
They're black widows, though. I do not want them.
Oh, you don't want those.
There were like 30 of them. Like just chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want those.
Bonet does not let me kill them. She's like, no, they're not hurting anyone. I was like, until they kill you.
Does she know they can get in the house?
Like that, she thinks they have a relationship. Like she's out there watering the
Okay.
plants, and they're just chilling.
Yeah,
Nope.
tell her to stick her hand in there and see
Nope.
how good of friends they are.
No, she's also like straight terrified of them. She is not friendly with them. She's full on heart palpitations, and she's out there watering the plants like we're having an anxiety attack. Like, hey, what's up, spiders? Like, I'm like, yeah, just kill the fucking spiders. So all attempts to do it with Mother Nature as my ally have failed. In
I would.
boomer window garden that I have now also harvested cucumbers, and now I am pickling them there in their second day pickled. So I'm a full-on boomer. Shout out to Pending Duff on Twitch. He sent me his pickling recipe.
Oh. Did y'all just become best friends?
So I ordered $106 worth of supplies to make 4 pickles.
Good job.
Yeah. Yikes.
That's my life now. So that's the update, guys. I'm done talking. Rob?
Hey, we got new releases. Woo! This week is kind of a specialist games week, so it's kind of an in-betweensy, so to speak. But they have a couple of new Black Library books coming out. Warhammer Crime, No Good Men, Farsight, Empire of Lies. Kind of interested in that one. And Oath and Conquest. Those are all $16 each. Then we've got new Blood Bowl teams. They got the Nose Pickers team. Great name. $42. New Spike Journal. And Snotly Team Dice, Team Pitch, Team Card Pack, of course, because what's a release without 3 different accessories to go along with it? Team Dice are $12.50, Pitch and Dugouts is $47, and the Team Card Pack is $27. Wow, that's a lot for it. Oh, holy cow. If you're into Aeronautical Imperialis, the Avengers Strike Fighters box set is coming out for $42 as well. Those are pretty cool little fighters. I don't know what they do in 40K, but I do want to check that out in the rules. Now, something I'm personally super stoked about. I don't play Necromunda, but that slave Ogren gang looks pretty fresh. It looks like they only have about 2 different poses, but a whole bunch of different like body armors and head options. And so they're coming out with a pack of 6 of these guys for $80. And again, let's talk about GW money. You got to spend money to save money with GW, because we saw the Ogrens for Imperial Guard. I think you get like 3 for what, $55 or something. These guys are 6 for $80. So it's almost like you're getting value. And they go along with that, they also have a 2-pack of these ogres for $40. So you can get 2 for $40 or 6 for $80. Which one would you buy, Kenny?
I mean, if I was forced to, because it was like a would you rather, I guess I'd buy the 6.
Because it was some messed up would you rather of.
I have breaking news. This just in, Kenny, your Defiler turret printed perfectly. Just beeped and finished.
Not Defiler turret.
Oh, that's totally a Defiler turret. I mean, okay, it's not. You're right. Like, it's modified to purposely look more low pro, like a tank turret. Or my Death Guard Defiler.
Fresh.
Doesn't have the goofy head sitting on the top. All that shit.
Oh, like the shoulders with no arms.
Yeah, it's just it's more like it's like a turret, and it has the slots on the side to put like the autocannons and shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, because I have one of the world's last new unboxed Defilers just showed up in the mail today.
How much was that?
I got it for $50 from somebody on Facebook, a friend. And then I have 2 Soul Grinders that I'm going to be converted into these low pro Death Guard Defilers. The aid of Wyatt Turk's 3D printing prowess.
Did you well, I guess it's kind of too late, but you could have used that Nurgle Plague Hulk from Forge World.
Yeah, that was my third plan. If Wyatt didn't have a solution for me, that was my third plan. But instead, now I'm going to get tentacle makers. Remember that in Green Stuff World, those tentacle makers?
Yeah.
I got some of those coming in for a promo with them, and I'm going to go fucking hard. And I'm going to try to remember how converting works.
That they made a clear one, so you can actually see when you're pressing it together. You can see that all the grooves are
they sent me that one. I bought some, and then I was like, send me some
money.
Oh my god! Do I need the Vaseline? Like the relief? Like,
you don't super need it. You can use a little bit of water with dish soap, and it does the same thing. I think that's what I've
been using. This other 2-part epoxy. That's the gray and black stuff. This is so much better than green stuff, dude.
It's about like a pound of green stuff.
Yeah, look at how much I have, and I've used a lot of it. This is only $19.99, and green stuff is like $25-$30 now for like little teeny amount.
Well, if you can still get a tube of green stuff, and it's the actual like what you got right there. It's
from Green Stuff World rather than the GW brand.
Well, no, the street names or the brand name I think is Needed-Tight, like KNEAD a tight, and you can get it for like $10 ish. For that.
God damn it! I've been buying needlessly overpriced fucking green stuff.
Well, this also sets way faster, which is nice.
Is it harder or soft, or the same?
Depends on how much you mix it, but the cure time is a lot faster. Just like a couple of hours.
When it dries, is it soft like green stuff, like soft edged, or is it
like brown and white?
It can be. It depends on how you mix it up, because one is a hardener. So if you mix more hardener, it's going to end up harder. Just depends on how you mix it.
Jumping back into the tabletop market watch, the Escher is getting their Death Maidens and Wild Runners for $42. New House of Blades book for $47. House of Blades dice for $15. House of Chains dice, which I guess they didn't come out with the Goliath, so they're putting them back out for $15. Slave Ogre tactic cards, Escher Gang tactic cards, all $15. But what's really cool about this is the new board games, which they announced that would be at, places like Barnes & Noble and other big box retailers throughout the world. I think there was a German one and a UK one. I forget what they're called. But they are also going to be available on GW's website as a web store exclusive. So the Blitz Bowl Season 2 is going to be $49.99. And the Adventures Rise of the Orc Horde is going to be $44.99. That's the one where they reuse some of the Space Marine Heroes 2 sculpts. So if you're down to get some dope ass looking Terminators now that they went up the extra wound and all their weapons.
Wait, did you say that the new Blood Bowl 2-player box is only going to be like $50?
Yeah,
that's the
actual Blitz Bowl.
Oh, okay. I know nobody cares about that one.
Well, I mean, some people do. It's cool because if you don't have a big like gaming group or league, this more is just about the play, and you don't get invested in the whole like league. The whole.
You don't even get a full team in the box, though.
I mean, it's a board game. It's not, it's not the whole thing.
It's not Blood Bowl. It's not.
You're right.
Nobody cares.
It's Blitz Bowl. It's Blitz Bowl. And the Age of Sigmar Crypt Hunters box, which kind of looks cool. It's like fighting a wave of Night Haunts Night Haunts are $39.99 from GW2. And then there's some cards for the Middle Earth strategy battle game, The Hobbit. They're all $27 for the pack. If you're into that sort of thing, that will all be on pre-order this Saturday, along with a new preview at 8:30 in the morning or 8:45 Eastern Standard Time if you're here in the States on the East Coast. So all that stuff is coming in hot this weekend. Now, there was a bit of news. Obviously, we're going to talk about the whole like new wound profiles and new bolters and all sorts of different things here in a few minutes. But I did want to talk about a few things that kind of happened last week too that we didn't quite cover or didn't have time for. So Guild Ball, which was kind of sort of like a loose Blood Bowl sort of thing, it came out on Kickstarter in 2014 from Steamforged Games. They have announced it's being discontinued. So you can buy any of the existing stock if you're into it. They're not going to make any more, but they did kind of leave the door open if they wanted to jump back in, after the whole COVID thing. But check that out if you want to get kind of finish out your teams or anything like that. Infinity announced a new edition of the game is coming out. Looks pretty sweet. A lot of the models and some of the what do they call them, war bands are looking pretty fresh too. So check that out. I'm sure we'll know a lot more on that very soon. RTLW announced a couple of new models. They got a warlock kind of that you can either make him like an Imperial Psyker or a Chaos Psyker. Both ways look fresh, really low price. I think it was like $14.99 or something. It was shockingly low. And there's an assassin that kind of looks a little bit like an Evisor, but it's got different heads. Like you can have a kind of like a cyberpunk lady kind of head, or like a crazy skull face with like a ridiculous over the top like 90s cyberpunk mullet or a mohawk. It actually is detachable. So a couple of different options there that look really cool. I thought it was neat. Dungeons and Lasers is coming out, I think, on Tuesday with their number 2 Kickstarter, which is going to feature dragons, which these dragons are sick as all get out. Like they spent a lot of time on these. Did you get that one I sent you, Wyatt?
Yeah.
These things are super detailed, and the one that they sent me has like this flame attachment that you can actually put on its mouth. They're coming out with some familiars, more rooms and corridors and things that you can pick up. And it's not just for sci-fi, or it's not just for fantasy. It's also for sci-fi. So they got this like crazy looking aliens dragon, like I don't even know, like the amount of work they've done on this stuff. Price point is supposed to be like $35 for the dragons. There's like a 6-pack for like $120, and I'm like, what? How do you even do that? And some people pointed out like the Reaper Bones ones. They're like, the Reaper ones are like $10. And I'm like, yes. And they'll melt and fall over if you leave them in the sunlight. Like these are hard plastic, multi-part, highly detailed kits. Like you can't compare. Like in wargaming and tabletop, it's very hard to compare to something like this in my mind. Did you take a look at the box at all, Wyatt? Like what'd you think?
Oh yeah, like this guy is really cool. I mean, like the box, very clean. Like can't really say anything about the packaging other than it's like, it's like a cool looking dragon model, and it's clean. And on the back, you can see that it's sprued up plastic, which is nice. Instead of like poopy resin or whatever that funky shit is that Reaper Bones uses.
Oh, I don't know. Detail
on the model is like really nice, really clean. Comes with like a custom textured base, like pretty dope.
And the one, I think that one, it has gold pieces on the bottom and like a treasure chest. And then the gold is actually like on the tail as he's kind of like sliding over it.
Yeah, there's a couple of little like gold coins sculpted on there. Just neato.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job on it. So there's an ice one that I didn't really get a good look at that they're going to have on Kickstarter soon. So
cool.
Hopefully
he looks like a gold dragon.
Yeah. So look for that on the 25th, which I think is Tuesday. I think it goes live. We'll do a big news post on it because I'm interested to see what the stretch goals are. And that new Necromunda, they did a preview of that gang. What was it? The gang holdout stronghold. That thing looked pretty cool. Like it had a watchtower and like a water, kind of like some sort of water reservoir and like some gantries and like a gate. I don't know how much it's going to be. Probably like $150, but I thought it looked pretty fresh. Like it almost looked like a G.I. Joe set, kind of like from the 80s.
Who makes that?
GW did. Just kind of out of nowhere. They're like, hey, there's this thing. Like, what? That looks kind of cool.
You hear about that Mantic Hellboy RPG Kickstarter they're coming out with?
I did not hear about that.
I like fucking, I think it's like a pen and paper RPG.
Oh.
For Hellboy.
Just following up with the last one. They also have a new terrain crate.
Oh yeah, I got one.
2020.
Got to review it and open it up and paint it still, but give it a couple away. Also, Tomb Guardians, like small D&D style pewter model making company. A Kickstarter live right now for dwarves. I've got one. Fucking dwarven monk that we painted to look like a Kuma. So actually pretty happy with it. These masters, these prototypes they sent me are 3D prints. So it's like really interesting to see how like that's how it's going, you know, like, and when I got it, I was like, oh shit, this is super clean. And then I saw like, because now I work with you guys and stuff all the time, the tail tile, like there's a little nub from a support that like, you know, you don't even have to carve them off. You just kind of like apply pressure to the nub, it just flies off usually.
And a lot of times. I
was like, damn, this is mad fucking clean. People are getting really good at this, and it's really, you know, exploded the mold making scene. You know, you get a couple of really fucking clean prints, and then you're off to the races with a sick ass line. And they offer pewter, so like that's pretty fucking cool.
It is cool. I think here pretty soon there is going to be like a clear division on like who knows what they're doing and who is just trying to like scam some bucks. There's a couple of companies that I've seen are getting on this trend of offering pre-supported files, and you get them and you're like, oh, this hobo's just hit auto support on the fucking slicer software and they're upcharged me for it. Like it's kind of a scam. Whereas like other companies will do these like really intricate custom supports to make the models like clean AF. So those are worth it.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming from somebody that spent the time doing it. A good supported model takes a couple of hours to do.
I wouldn't say that long, but I guess it depends on what you're doing. I can pick it up pretty quick.
Yeah, it can depending on how big it is and how many parts, it could stretch out for sure.
But, I bet that that knight had like totally not a dread knight has 1,000 supports.
That has 70. That's a 72 piece kit.
I've got a bag full of pieces to look at, and I'm just like, ugh, God.
Yep.
Yo, how's that Lord of Hate? By the way, I heard there's an awesome demon prince model.
Prince size Lord of Hate from Gamek. Yeah, we're I think we still got a couple days left for sale on those. $59 over on the Spiky Bit store. I'm sure you've probably seen a post about it somewhere at some point, but you could just do a quick Google search for it. You can get the files from Gamek. I think he sells them for like $18.90 if you want to just kind of print it out yourself. You know, everybody's got printers these days, but if you want to your own printed copy that you won't have to spend hours supporting or anything like that.
Days.
It's like 19. It's 19 parts. It's only 19 parts, y'all.
It's actually it's pretty easy to build and clean up. I'm working on baby hate right now.
Yeah, I sent you a couple different sizes because I wasn't sure. I was trying to scale it right, and I was like, I got to get it to like Demon Prince size. And finally, I think I nailed it.
I
sent you the base too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I shipped it out to the winner. The cool. Baby hate is awesome though. I like his size.
He's like Primarch size.
He's like Be'lakor. Like
yeah, like the 54 millimeter.
He's pretty fucking righteous.
I wonder if Rob does things like really overly complicated. Like he has to take all these measurements with like calipers and shit to make it all work. And it's like when I try to scale stuff, I just create a 60 millimeter disc in 3D space and like just expand it, do like Control T to transform until it fits on the base. I'm like, yeah, this is fine.
You don't know Rob has a caliper drawer?
Oh, I assumed he did. He used to make aircraft carriers.
Yeah, he's gonna grab his calipers.
And he's like, I worked so hard. I'm like, dog, you could have just made a 60 millimeter disc and scaled it.
Because you just eyeball the dog and ride.
This is a digital caliper.
I knew it. Yeah, so just do that. It'll probably save you a lot of time.
So that's the precision you're getting when you go.
Yeah, just make that yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely getting some precision, but what something says in a readout doesn't necessarily look the part when you have it in your hand. And that's why it's so cool to have 3D printers so you can do that rapid prototyping and be like, all right, this should be right. Let me print it out. And then you get it and you're like,
nope.
Here's the funny part. So here is the actual Lord of Hate right here. This, and if you can't see it,
it's torso.
This is the torso, and this torso is about literally 3 by 2 inches. It is giant.
It's bigger than the size of an armature.
It is. Yeah, I would say this is the size of a racquetball. Just to give you an idea, like this is the normal size of that kit. It is stupid big. But yeah, we got to scale down right. And it's
the big hate, like our Demon Prince size hate, he's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's just the right amount of space there. So we'll have that on sale for till like Friday. So if you're listening to this and it's after Friday, we'll put some back up for sale.
Calipered perfectly into size, like digital calipers.
We like to we bring the quality,
the precision.
Yes,
the precision to printing.
We should call it Precision Worldwide.
Yes.
Solid name.
Solid. I can buy that.
Nobody. You know how many like Prestige Worldwide LLCs there are in like every state?
Is there really?
I have never looked that up.
Well, there's at least one because you can only have one, but you can't have the same LLC in a state. But it seems like everywhere I look, there's always one. I got one more thing I wanted to talk about. Reptilian Overlords put out their Sergeant Meat Grinder STL files. It's not Sergeant Slaughter. It is a really dope file. You can pick it up at STL for like $5. You can do a subscription. I think, what is it? $12.99 a month, and you get a bunch of credits. He's got a tank over there that's fresh. Yeah, Wyatt's holding it up.
Yeah, he's like giving the
Sergeant Knife Hand. Yeah, he's got a couple different heads too and stuff.
No.
Does he?
No.
Pretty sure he had a couple different options.
The only option is there's one where he's like holding a pistol instead of the knife hand, and there's a body difference because on one body it has a cutout for he's got a bolter that's like slung on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the other version, he does not have that on his chest. So it is fully detailed, whereas the bolter one has a cutout, so the bolter fits better.
There you go.
Also, they don't upcharge for their pre-supported models, but their pre-supported models are literally them just hitting auto support. So you're going to have to do custom supports.
No, he actually does it. Like he had a YouTube video of how
not on this one because I definitely loaded it up and I was like, I wonder. And then I loaded the non-supported model, hit auto support, and I was like, it is exactly the same fucking thing.
You might want to message him because he actually went. He made a couple tutorials on YouTube of how to do like custom supports that are really good. It's possible that he put out accidentally like oversaved it or something and put out the wrong version.
Players fuck up.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if that was not accidental. knowing what I know about. I mean, he might not have.
Does he have a caliper? Does he have a caliper in a drawer? You guys have a caliper club?
I can just say I talked to the guy a few times. He doesn't strike me as that sort of guy. So,
I mean, like I said, they don't upcharge for it. It's free. It's included. So I can't get mad at him. But I was just like, because I was like, oh, he got a pre-supported model? Fuck yeah. And then I'm like, this is just auto-supported. There's going to be so many problems.
I don't know. I think
for those of you who don't know, like, here's one of the problems with pre-support or when you hit auto supports, the computer just does it algorithmically. And a lot of times that means you're going to have way more supports than you actually need, which means way more cleanups. And a real problem with printing miniatures at this scale is you have these upright supports. And if they run parallel to a surface on the model and they're too close together, during the printing process, you'll get little bits of resin that'll kind of cure in between, say, like an arm and that vertical strut of the support, and it'll fuse. And when you pull off the supports, there's like a huge chunk of that support left, or it'll like crack out a huge portion of like the arm or the leg or detail or whatever. So if you don't do it the right way, you end up kind of ruining the model in the process. So that's why you got to learn how to do your own supports.
If you Google, gosh, I forget the article, but we have a 3D, I think it's like learn 3D printing by working from home. I put at the bottom of the post a list of some of the best YouTube videos on how to learn custom supports from a lot of people I learned from. And I think they're all very good videos. And one of them was actually a Facebook Live video from Reptilian Overlords that I think it's also very good too. So check those out because a lot goes into
Reptilian Overlord, Baer, Calipers. You guys are like clearly in the same.
We're not affiliated.
Same clutch.
It's a different company.
All right. This is a lot of coincidences here.
Well, I don't know. But long story short, I definitely check him out. It's a really good service over there. He's got there's a whole sisters or not sisters because they look vaguely different. They have two different distinct looks to them. I know sisters are really hard to find right now, which is silly. But I think it's worth a sub for a couple of months, until you get what you need out of there. It seems like everybody only stays on for a couple of months these days at the all the different 3D makers out there, but there's definitely a lot to check out. So many creative folks out there right now. It's crazy. And yes, the printers, like if you're looking to pick up an Anycubic, they're actually on sale right now from both their site and on Amazon, along with the Washicure station.
I would definitely recommend the Photon because for somebody who wants to get into 3D printing, it is the largest community of people who own that printer. And the best part is that a couple of years ago when it came out and got so popular, there's this massive online community of sourced resin print settings for that machine. So like literally all you have to do is set up your machine, go to that communal Google Doc, find the resin that you're using, copy and paste those settings into your machine, and it'll print perfectly the first time as long as your supports are right. So it's very, very easy for somebody who knows, nothing about 3D printing to start making like perfect prints out the gate because it's just copy paste.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, definitely check out, there's a lot of different resources out there, but if you can Google search learn 3D printing while working from home, I think that's I tried to pack that article with as much content as possible to get up and running, some of the supplies you need and some of the dope ass videos. How are those settings I sent you, Wyatt? Were you able to use those? The ones from that one video you showed me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So
I might tweak the settings like a little bit here or there if I have to do like a custom support, but for the most part, I don't change anything.
Yeah. And that was from one of the videos you showed me that I put on that list. And I used that a couple of times and it was great. So the resources are out there. You just kind of have to dig for them a little bit, unfortunately. But it's a good starting point, I feel like. So that's all the nerd stuff I got here, I think, for the most part.
So all the Marines got new ones.
Yep.
See that? You kind of saw that going. I didn't think they'd do it, but hey.
What a time to be alive.
Tactical Marines, 2 wounds, 18 points, 20% bump. Pretty fucking spicy. And they confirmed me and Wyatt's most impassioned, like, tinfoil hatting for the last year. Plague Marines, 2 wounds. They even showed a picture. Plague Marine. Did he get 2 wounds?
The promised time.
It has begun, but they've also guaranteed more points. So, hey guys, bunch of more points for your lists. Back to scheming.
Yeah, I'm building all my lists to like 1800 just to prepare for that.
Yep, I remember it was only a short time ago that we were doing that, and now we're doing it again.
Yeah, it's funny because like with the way that article was worded, it seems like Chaos might get left out in the cold.
They said spiky boys, didn't they?
Well, so the
about
wording was
timeline wise.
Yeah, timeline wise, because like we will get them, but we're probably not going to get them when the Space Marine Codex comes out. We're going to have to wait to get that rules buff until the Chaos Codex comes out. And so like my prediction is they're going to do the same thing with Chaos they did with Space Marines, where like all Heretic Astartes are going to be in one book to start. And then they're going to make little supplements for the more specialized boys.
Yeah, I think they will.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I hope what they do is when that codex releases, they just do it at day one FAQ. And it's like, hey, if you're a Grey Knights player or a Heretic Astartes player, like, here's a little FAQ that tells you all the wound changes for your guys. That would be awesome. And I think a lot of people would be very happy. But my gut tells me they're not going to do that.
No, because they did that with Bolter.
Yeah, that wasn't a new codex though. I mean, like
it wasn't, but they said they came out with that assault rule the same day because
they did. There's precedence. There's precedence for both things.
Yeah.
Like we've gotten.
So I mean, like I have hope, but my GW cynicism senses are tingling on this one.
We've gotten really
just do a hot fix.
Well, we've gotten really used to hot fixing, like because of this new edition. We've gotten really used to like. Oh, here it is. Here's all the updates. We just got our chapter approved. We just got our fucking all our point. We got all that. We're used to this, like rolling out. But like in the past, when somebody got a new codex, even if their shit was different, and there's other people who had similar things, they didn't just put out like a preview to the new data sheets for the next codex. That hasn't been their trend. You know? So
yeah, because there's other stuff that's going to happen beyond this. Like, you know, the multi-melta is changing along with a bunch of other weapon profiles. So it's like, are they just going to come out and be like, if your army has access to a multi-melta, change your rule to say this? Or are they going to be like, sucks to suck, nerd. Your book comes out in 4 months.
Well, why couldn't they? Because we have keywords at this point. So they could just be like, all keyword this is now this.
Well, obviously they could quite easily. Yeah. Easily. And they have.
But will
many
they
times.
is the question.
But will they?
I think they will because, you know, a lot of folks seem to be off-put. You know, that Xenos hasn't got the log or Chaos hasn't got the log.
I lean toward they probably will because they're like they have seen how we react. I think they're going to keep that trend. So I think that I read the article as like we have to wait till October for our Plague Marine points too, even though our codex doesn't come out till later. Like that's how that's the feeling. That's the feeling I got from the article.
Well, they'll sell more things too. You know, they'll just sell more stuff. Just putting out that, okay, cool. I've been holding off buying a box of blank.
It gives you more time to stockpile new things, gives them more time to read.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I try like the silver lining of all this is like if you're, you know, building a new collection or you're just working on your collection, like for 9th edition, like you got nothing but time to just, you know, paint models, you know, and like that's one of the cool things that I get to do with my Death Guard. It's like, every other day or so, like I'm finishing a couple of models here or there and I get on to the next ones. And it's like, I want to be in this place where next year when the meta does pick up again, I'm not stuck playing catch up and having to like buy models and paint them really rapidly. I can just be like, oh, this is cool.
Let me pick from this.
Yeah. Like I have a bunch of that. Or like maybe you only need to get like one thing, right? Which is really easy to do and you can crack out on it. So yeah, like being able to just take my time and, you know, build the collection and put a lot of effort into the paint job, and rather than just doing like tournament standard to fill out the rubric, I can go super ham on all the models. Feels really nice.
Yeah, it's always good to have a stable of models to kind of pick from that are all, dope ass painted.
I mean, like I said, I can see GW going either way with it. Like if they're like how long they're gonna make us wait. Ultimately, it's meaningless. It's not like we're out fucking GTs that often these days. Got time. Kara Quinn was like, well, why would they give all the cool stuff to like all the Marine stuff and Chaos Marine stuff, but not like the rest of the guys? It's like, because they don't care about anything but Marine stuff. Like that's their main focus.
Well, I mean, that's the stuff that sells the best.
But it's also clean. It's if you're gonna say like this stuff is gonna change, it's actually pretty easy and clean because you have like all this literature that is also very similar to that and with similar keywords versus a piece of paper that lists every faction of 40K's new wounds. And it's like, It just did one of those. I think that's going to be a minute. And I think they're going to give us like FAQs close to FAQs. And I think they're probably going to approach it in an order that is the easiest, biggest, broadest stroke. So like expect human peoples next, like regular ass hobos as what do you call them? Normies.
Yeah, normies, Marines, chonks, and extra chonks. That can be every model in 40K.
Expect the normies next, Then Eldar, the same thing. Like when they do Eldar, then it's like all the Eldar and Drukhari, and Eldari and Harlequins, they'll sweep them together. I'm prepared to be annoyed in October. It's all good. I still got lots of models to paint.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is kind of focusing down on painting, getting your collections tight. Don't forget, magnetize your stuff, future-proof your minis. If it's got an option, throw a magnet.
Oh, fuck that. Just pay more.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. The amount of work you put into doing that, I could have just painted 2 models.
Nope. Yep. No. Magnetizing stuff? Not even once.
Bro, you're over here magnetizing
so
6 different weapons, little magnets in the wrist, and I'm over here just painting a guy with a melta, a guy with a fucking
We need to do like a head-to-head
No
showdown
way.
where we start off with an unbuilt model and then see which one.
I build
best.
2 guys, a plasma and a melta, and I get them all done, and you have to do all your magnets to get them all done. Betcha I beat you.
I don't think so.
Right.
That is a bold prediction. I think Rob is delusional.
I think we got to do this challenge. We got to do a 8-hour paint stream challenge.
It doesn't take 8 hours to magnetize anything that I've ever done.
You got to put the box out in front of you.
So defensive.
You've got to clip the guys off the box. We got to do it all on camera. We got to clip the dudes off, build the dudes, prime the dudes.
Well, you gotta do that too.
Yeah. I'm going to just build 2 guys, one with each weapon option real quick. And I'm off to the races painting.
It's all right. Rob is just, he's like a hobby Little Mermaid. He's got to have 20 thingamabobs and who's it's and what's it's galore. Yeah. That's just that's his thing.
No,
It depends on what it is.
This just came from Pro Painting as a commission studio. The guy would be like, I want you to magnetize the flamer, the plasma, and the melta. I'd be like, nope. And they're like, no, how much? I was like, $600. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, look, just commission me to pay 3 guys. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. I will charge you just the rate of my guys. But to have me go into the pre-paint stage and have to meticulously set all that up for you and then lay all those pieces out, manage all those pieces and make sure they all fucking get tracked throughout the entire commission process and then put properly and labeled back into your shipping box. Fuck all that. And you have 3 guys. But that was my take on just the assembly line. If it was me painting a single guy, for myself, man, I literally spent 12 hours painting a fucking Death Round Terminator the other day. So whatever. Time doesn't matter when it's your own shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's just me. I like to magnetize. Not everything.
In case you didn't know, the Death Round Terminator champion can take 2 Plague Spitter gauntlets. He comes with 1, and he can take the second one for 0 points. I magnetized the 0-point Plague Spitter gauntlet. Obviously, I'm lying. I did not glue that shit.
I already knew that.
I knew Rob would have glued that shit on them.
Yeah, something like that. That's you either have it or you don't. Who cares? Just look at your army list. It's not like paying 15 points for a plasma pistol and then not having it.
Ooh.
Oof.
Ooh. Like that's a...
Or not paying 15 points and saying you did. Whatever. We all know what I'm saying.
I mean, isn't that 40K? It's like, let's just not, but say we did.
That's a little different, though.
Ooh. Rob laid down to burn. Everyone knows what he was talking about.
Well, the thing I don't get is just fucking say you're sorry and get over it. Like,
I'm sorry I didn't
change yourself. No, not that. If you're 3 points over the tournament, you disqualify yourself and send the trophy to somebody else because you were wrong. It doesn't matter what the TO said. Like, you're wrong. And you're going to get roasted, and everybody's getting roasted. Shoot, somebody's getting roasted right now on the internet because supposedly he took a invalid Salamanders list, but we don't know if he actually didn't step up to the table and explain his list to his opponent. We don't know because none of this shit's televised.
But it was illegal, so.
On paper, he didn't pay for his relic, supposedly.
Ooh. So there is some controversy.
And it's somebody that, had been caught on camera cheating in the past.
With a history, nonetheless.
So, people are out on pitchforks, but we don't know. We weren't there. We don't know what he said to people. But again.
But we're never going to be there. That's where opinions come in.
Yeah.
What's the opinion? What are we talking about? There was a GT recently?
There was the Flying Monkey GT.
I wasn't talking about that.
You want to talk about that?
I wasn't talking about that one. There was the person that had won a couple events already with that same-ish salamander list weeks previous.
Oh.
Okay. A different human, same salamander list.
May or may not have been the same person that pushed a water bottle around the table. If you remember that one.
Water bottle gate?
Your politic speak is really friendly because you just say what's going on.
Ooh, so what?
If it happened, it's not liable, Rob.
Alex Harrison? He's a big time.
Yeah. But we don't know if that was on purpose. On paper, his list is wrong.
Right, but this is why, if you'd be enter the evidence. The man has a history doing shit on the table.
It's different when you've been filmed and you never apologize for it, and that's what I'm saying. If you fuck up, you just say you're sorry and be like, "Oh, my bad," and
most
do the right thing.
Most of these guys do that, right? Even the plasma pistol thing you were talking about, that dude totally disqualified himself and apologized.
No. Matter of fact, he actively did not want to leave the event.
There's only
I'm just saying. Long story short,
I can't believe it's the same story at Warhammer 40K year after year, even in the 8th month of fucking 2020.
We've talked about this before. If TOs would get some cojones and be like, "Hey, guess what? You're lifetime banned. Get the fuck out of here." You make an example of people stop doing shit. When there are repercussions to your actions.
You mean if there's consequences for your actions?
Yes.
I don't disagree with you, but it's, as a business person running an event, it's very tough to take that sort of hardline stand unless the majority of folks
against one person. If I owned a store and somebody walked into my store and shit on the floor, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, it might hurt my business if I don't ban this guy forever because he shit on my floor." It's horseshit, Rob. Come on.
That is different. Hey, if it was so easy, why didn't all these other TOs do this when all these things have happened and went down?
I don't know. If it were me, I would have.
Yeah, but that's called projecting, though. You're projecting yourself into their situations. So that's actually the least accurate form of trying to understand where someone's coming from. You're not them. You would be you.
I'm too fair play, fair sportsmanship, that kind of thing. The integrity of the game is too important to me that when I see somebody get away with that stuff time and time again, especially when it's on big event type things, and they don't get banned, they don't get made an example of, it makes me mad because I'm why? What is your reasoning for letting this person get away with cheating? It's their one ticket. Oh no, you lost out on $60 next year. Is that going to make or break your event? Come on. Some
people just don't have the minerals to do it from a business standpoint or from a PR standpoint.
I don't know. Hire a fucking enforcer then. I'm sure there's a bunch of bouncers out of work right now that would love to come in and be like, "Get the fuck out of here." like throwing red cards in people's faces. Like, if you're not man enough to go up to another human being and be like, you cheated at my event, you're out of here, you're banned, then like get somebody who can. It's not that hard.
Well, for a lot of folks, that are maybe 1 or 2 man operations with a bunch of volunteers, it is kind of hard for them. But some of the bigger events are more organized, have folks to go around. You saw on TV at one of the biggest Warhammer 40K event ever, literally the same person we're talking about with the plasma pistols was giving somebody a hard time and really had a bad showing at that event and was yet allowed to stay and continue playing when perhaps maybe he shouldn't have been.
I definitely agree. I was at that event and I watched it happen and I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
The internet was exploding at the same time and yet he was still there. So I don't know.
So it's like, I mean, that's why it's
those people.
That's why it's not like, it's not so clear, right? Because it's not everyone is either spineless and pathetic or they're all don't understand what's going on or they're not all just, you got a group of people who are like small business owners who are putting on conventions, right? Like they're moving from a product-based business to a service-based business,
right?
And they are doing it with probably a volunteer force, right? Like a lot of like not getting paid. Yep. They're probably barely getting their money to break even on what they're doing, and they're probably really used to. And this would be speculating. They're probably really used to like the small store world where like you definitely have to like be hyper cognizant of the melting pot of emotions that are occurring in this community, or they can just jump ship to the game store next street or revolt and open their own game store across the street. And that's a story as old as fucking time that happens to every fucking game store owner in the fucking planet. So they have this huge set of circumstances,
right,
that they've created their own like narrative for, like their own frames of reference for like how it's going to go down if they make a decision that X amount of percentage of people disagree with, right? So that's them failing to accurately see the perspective, see the situation from the correct perspective. That's still them projecting themselves into a situation that they only have a frame of reference for. And so that's the issue. When you use only frames of references, only those types of instincts, you typically make the wrong decision. And they are probably making the wrong decisions. Only a few TOs in the history of Warhammer 40K have actually done the correct thing. And so I don't think it's because they're all pussies or something. I think it's because like probably all came from the wrong type of store, like the wrong type of industry, and have gone into another industry, pivoted instantly thinking it was the same thing and fucked up.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here on a whole nother like side of this. There's been events that have been, and there's still TOs and there's still store owners out there that are shiesty AF, and they are continued to be propped up by we'll call them the pro players that go to their events and sign these ridiculous disclosure forms to play in their events for whatever reason. And then when nothing goes the way it was promised, judges not getting paid and compensated for people's time, nothing's done. And they'll all come back again exactly the next year.
You're talking about.
And it's not just that. There's been TOs that have been soft banned off the ITC that have been allowed back in the ITC, that have a history of doing terrible business decisions and doing terrible things with their events, that people still go to their events and they're like, I know this cash prize is bullshit, but I just want to go. Or, yeah, I know, okay, maybe he cooked the books and said that this was this level event. It was really this level event. He might have got in trouble for it, but I'm still going to go to his event because I just want to play. Like, maybe that's not a good idea either. I'm just saying.
Like, look,
it's both ways.
But like the chat's got some ideas in there, but like, look, whatever the solution, whatever the enforcement is, at least like we have yellow cards and red cards now. The problem is they have been seldom used to their full weight. And so like we actually do finally have a floor rules kind of foul system. Now, the first year it didn't get used that much. It was kind of new. This would have been the year you would have seen it really ramp up, really start getting used, but it didn't happen. COVID-19 happened instead. So you did. So I feel like we lost a year on that, but luckily you did see some of the usage of it at the Flying Monkey GT. Cause that honestly, like if you have a set of rules and guidelines for ejection, like a sports team, just need to follow through. You need to fucking follow through with actually, which I don't actually mean like a lifetime ban. I think that's fucking ludicrous for like somebody being 3 points over in a plasma pistol. I'm like, you're, red card, you're out of the event. And you have to stand outside the facility, like you're banned from this event for the Barbados event. That's a humongous fucking consequence for somebody who just traveled to this location and is literally for the next 72 hours is like, I can't even go in there. Might as well just call the airport and fly home. Like, so by adherence to the system we already have in place for ITC, you would see this resolve itself pretty quick, but we are 8 months behind on that right now.
Yeah, but you have to understand that there's a lot of dynamics, I think, in play, both from the TOs. There's terrible TOs that still are out there, and there's terrible players that are still under some delusion that they should still compete and not change their ways. And it's going to become an issue going, once things start back up, because it always kind of has been. No,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like we lost, unfortunately, like, right? Like, I'm a baby about it, but like, just objectively in our industry, and this one topic, we lost this entire year of curating this consequence that we were super hype on in 2019.
I think it'll all sort out, because this 40K edition seems to be already bringing more people into it. So when you get an influx of people, it tends to necessitate some sort of change. And that'll be cool to see how all that kind of like shakes out, because you have to have standards in play, or else, it's something like
that's the best part of having the entity who runs the shit, right? Like Frontline Gaming, they run the shit, they put out the rules packet, and they put out a file system. It actually helps with, like, let's say these TOs are just.
I think it was great. Floor rules.
Let's just say like all these TOs do quote unquote lack the minerals. Let's just say that's the reason. Well, like they have armor between them and their sensitive minerals now, because it's not their fucking rules, right? They like, I don't write the rules, I just enforce them. That's beautifully put in place to help people enforce rules that might not otherwise do it. So like, do live in that world right now. We're just not seeing, we're not seeing it at the level it needs to be right now. We need to see ejections. No. We need to see actual yellow cards. And you did see them at the LVO this year, or earlier this year. You did see some in the finals. You did see some usage of them, not to the level it should have been, but still more than ever before. So we're on the right path. Mm-hmm. Which is an interesting topic. I'm glad this is interesting. We get to talk about it. We get to talk about the new GT that just fucking happened, and we're still talking about this. Why? What happened to this fucking Fly Monkey GT?
Well, okay. So initially, there was a little bit of some aggressiveness from some of the organizers to a bunch of people that traveled, right? And so the reason I know about this is because most of the people that had this issue were from Texas. So one thing that the Texas circuit is doing is, like, if a bunch of us are traveling out of state to an event, we have agreed that instead of being like all the disparate groups, we're just going to be Team Texas. So if like 15 people are going to LVO, like those 15 people are going to be Team Texas, right? So they did a Flying Monkey. And from all accounts, the TOs were basically just like, fuck you, quote, fuck you, no, and broke up Team Texas. And a lot of people were upset by that, obviously, because there was really no reason to do it.
Well, and also, just to make full transparency, when you're on the same team, you avoid matchup in the first round.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, 15 people out of 70, who cares? Right.
Yeah, I don't even think it was 15. Like,
and so obviously the TO thinks this is like some massive play to like dominate their event by avoiding playing each other. That's like obviously what he's leaning on.
We did anyways.
No, of course you're going to play each other. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And the only reason you want to be on the same team, just for transparency, is because even though it's Team Texas and there's a lot of like micro teams, right, just like every region in the country, you play each other every fucking weekend.
And here's the thing too, is there are a bunch of other teams in the ITC that aren't just like a local gaming group, right? They're these like multi-city, multi-state conglomerate type groups that everybody joins, right? Like, you know, you look at the huge teams like Beast Coast and Brohammer and stuff like that, and they're totally allowed to do that. So when this is like the first time we're able to actually do this, right? And then we come in there and it just like the TOs are just like, fuck you, no. And they like forcibly change the teams. And like they had to constantly argue with the TOs until they fixed it on day 2. So like probably not really a good attitude to have as an organizer when somebody's like, hey, why did you break up our team? And you tell them to fuck off. Like, probably not a cool thing to do. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah. What adult has that like answer?
Good job starting off on the right foot there, Tio.
So, little compliment sandwich. There was like some criticism, now a positive. Now the event was following all social distancing guidelines and people were wearing masks. In fact, if you were caught habitually not following those guidelines, you were given yellow cards, which they handed out of you, right? They did enforce that. So, 2 thumbs up on that, right? And then we get to sort of like the bigger controversy type thing was in the championship game between Dan Salmons and David Villarreal. There was a little bit of hinky shit going on. Not like cheating type stuff. This was like a very heated, like, rules as written versus rules as intended thing. And to his credit, David did get everything he was doing cleared by judges like earlier in the event. It's just so happened that Dan had not played the Salamanders mirror match, and his interpretation of what those things did was different than David's. But by the letter of the rules, like, he cleared it with the judge. They said it was cool, and he didn't really do anything. But he has been getting a little bit of hot water because of the like hardline rules as written thing. If you want to see it, it's out there. I'm not going to get into all of that. And they were live streaming the final game. So like, cool that you guys were live streaming. A little bit of a stumble there. They were not moderating the player's speech. So there was some things said that were definitely not okay, especially by Dan Salmons. Typical Midwest diarrhea person who's throwing out homophobic slurs like it's the early 2000s. So like, cool, you won the event, but also, you're going to have to kind of come back from that one in my book.
So pro tip, say you're sorry.
Which he did not do on the live stream. It was funny because there was actually a little bit of an argument going on in the chat there, and the chat mods were kind of like, hey, keep it civil. And people were just kind of revving up about it because, he's just like throwing them out there. And I'm like, hey guys, I stream on Twitch, so you probably didn't read the terms of service because, these guys are like hobos. So you can't allow people to say that on Twitch.
Yeah, you have to actually police your community.
Yeah, you have to police your content and your chat.
Regardless of your opinion of PC.
Yeah, regardless of your opinion, it is against terms of service to use those types of derogatory terms. And if you don't tell your players to, shut the fuck up, and you don't moderate your chat, you can get reported and you will be banned. So like, they don't purely care. From a, like, if you want to keep doing this, like, you have to follow terms of service. And so like, after I kind of laid that on them, they were like, yeah, we told the players, it's handled, whatever. And it continued on. So yeah, like, little, very, very roller coastery up and down with like kind of doing good things, doing bad things. I wasn't at the event, so I can only get this secondhand that the terrain was found very lacking as far as like the amount on each table with the new 9th edition terrain rules and setup, and kind of like what's recommended for this new edition. So a lot of people were like, yeah, terrain sucked. It's like playing on Planet Bowling Ball, blah, blah, blah. So,
So,
but I will say, congratulations to Team Texas. We had 4 of the top 10.
Nice.
And Dan Salmons did win, so congratulations, but you should watch your mouth and apologize for that.
Yeah, it's uncalled for in 2020.
David got second place. Charles Velasquez, also Team Texas, got third place with Death Guard. We had a very interesting list. Fourth place, Patrick. I don't know how to say it. McEnany. Sorry if I butchered that, Patrick. He got White Scars, and he's a Battle for Salvation homie.
Salamanders, Death Guard, White Scars. And then my good bud Colin McDade, Harlequins, got 5th place. So he placed really high with Harlequins, which is pretty hard to do. So congrats. 6th place, Marvin Sims with Custodies.
7th place, Scott Thompson with Astartes. 8th place, Nate Goodfellow, also Team Texas with White Scars. 9th place, Nicholas Weiss. He's just listed as Imperium. I think he had like a mixed list. Some Astra Militarum mixed stuff. And then 10th place was Ben Chairwin, sorry if I said that wrong, with Grey Knights. Grey Knights in the top 10.
Yeah, that was an interesting list too for Grey Knights, or yes, for Grey Knights.
Yeah, I don't really want to go like beat for beat on all these lists, since Rob already has like articles where you can just read them, or
you can go to spikybiz.com and you can read up on these articles all the time. And
doesn't matter how cool the list is, when you hear somebody read it word for word, it's boring AF. So
I literally hate it.
Also, while you're there, please click the dick pill ads.
Yeah, I would say we always got shady deals, boner pills.
Boner pills.
I do want to hear what was in his Death Guard list, though, if you could indulge me for 5 seconds.
Let me reopen it. Yes. Nope.
If I may be indulged.
So he did do the Inexorable.
Okay.
You know, got your Chaos Lord.
That's my favorite.
Got your Demon Prince.
Speed, yeah.
Yep. His was a little different though. He was running
Demon
the guy.
Prince was the warlord, had the warlord trait.
Yeah, so like Warlord, Revoltingly Resilient Blades, Hellforged Sword, Plague Spewer.
Oh, so he put the inexorable gear on the Lord?
It does not list his Warlord trait. Oh wait, no. So the Warlord trait was Revoltingly Resilient with Blades of Putrefaction, Psychic Power. No Relic is listed on either the Chaos Lord or the Demon Prince.
So maybe he didn't care. Maybe he just was running it for the stratagem.
Yeah. Big beefy unit of Plague Marines, 2 units of Poxwalkers. He was doing the Grenade Putrefier combo out of a Terax drill.
Yep.
Couple of PBCs, 3 Haulers, and 3 Hellforged Contemptor Dreadnoughts.
Cool. So he must have had it must have just been mislisted. He must have, because the Inexorable has the Warlord trait where they have a 7-inch aura of -1 AP. That list is obviously trying to take advantage of that. So it's obviously just misprinted.
Yeah, it's also like for a lot of people who are super used to how we did things in 8th edition, having to pre-list your Warlord traits and relics for the entire event is a little bit of it's a lot different. Whereas, like, you know, when we went to LVO this past year, you know, you could pick your Warlord trait and any relics and any psychic powers, like, before every matchup, you know, depending on what you got. But in this new GT book, it states specifically that Warlord traits, psychic powers, and any relics have to be in your list for the entire event. So that might just be like, you know, this is probably the first GT that a lot of people have played in this year. So having some foibles in that is understandable.
That's why you have to have a foul system that doesn't automatically eject people for small infractions. Little yellow card right there. Fix it right in the list. No worries. Fucking cool. Glad to see that. Yeah, Inexorable has been my jam. I think Inexorable is real flexible to the chat because they have, in addition to that AP buff we were just talking about, AP buff bubble, they have this incredible stratagem that you can play in any Death Guard unit in the start of the enemy's charge phase, or you can say, hey, asshole, 1 CP, add 2 inches to your charge range. Really fucking good for
very clutch.
That dumb little unit of like, you know, 5 intercessors that's about to make this, you know, 7-inch charge on your blah just to fucking take the objective back from you, and suddenly it's a 9-inch charge. Real good.
Yeah, I mean, like the drill, you know, the clown car where those dudes pop out, and now they have the option to show up 9 inches away, play the stratagem for everybody throw a grenade, play the stratagem for plus 6 inches to your range, so you have 12-inch range. Now you can actually hit something with the dreaded Blight Grenade,
Blight,
Mortal Wounding
Bombardment,
Bomb.
Overwhelming Generosity, Veterans of the Long War.
Yes. So if you have the points, like, it is a pretty good wombo combo in this new edition. So I can see why he did it. Yeah.
Kill anything in the game. And you have -1 AP if you're doing it right, because if it's a tank and you have your Warlord guy, it's pretty fucking nasty.
I'm assuming that he probably put the inexorable stuff on the Chaos Lord.
Because it was in the Termite drill?
I don't know. I don't know how he deployed it or anything like that, but because the Demon Prince had the pre-listed like Warlord trait, and like there were no relics or anything listed, I'm just kind of guessing that he put it on that because it's a slow Demon Prince. He didn't have wings.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Cool list. Got third. Shout out Death Guard. Chaos Life. But also shout out to all these Marines and Imperium crushing it. Some white scars. 2 white scars, 2 Salamanders. Grey Knights, top 10, right?
It's cool to see. Yeah, Custodies.
Studies.
Faves.
Imperium taking that pendulum back hard.
I mean, the counter's coming. Necrons are probably going to be stellar.
And then I'm not 100% sure what was in it, but there was a Tau list that a guy did pretty well with. I think he made top 20.
Double attacker, 2 attacker sharks, 3 devilfish.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, this Tau list did really well, and it had like no riptides. So people were kind of like, oh my God.
Shout out to Tau, man, right here. Like, I think Devilfish are real fucking good. Like, for the game we're playing, they fly, they move quick, they have drones that are another unit of redundancy to stack an objective
layer. Yeah, they
have guys in them. So, like, just say Devilfish on an objective is like,
so many things I gotta kill.
So it's Tau. I think Tau can have a whole new way of playing. Something I'm beginning kind of like. I'm not gonna make a Tau army, but some of my friends like Tau, so I play with it in Battlescribe. But I also kind of taking a second look at Piranha units again. Like, I don't know, because mainly because of the Blight Haulers. Like, the unit of 3 Blight Haulers is so fucking strong. I was like, man, 5 Piranhas looking kind of nasty at a lot of these tricks. Get a couple marker lights engaged. They move quick. They can get to objectives really fast. They can, fuck something up. So I'm looking at like 10 Piranha lists. I'm not a Tau guy. I could be looking at this like an idiot. But it's just some things I'm like looking at that I've never looked at in their book. I think at 9th edition, I'm like, this seems like it could work. This seems like it could work. So that's 9th edition, man. Be fucking cool.
I'm having a blast.
Interesting to see a tournament finally. See some
a big one.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow, look at the size of this.
Yep.
I was stoked to see that kind of. Remember, this used to happen like every week. We'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt. Somebody in chat, Zenro, this is he's like, Rhinos worth it with 2 wound OG Marines? Dog, Rhinos are worth it.
Now.
They were with 1.
Rhinos
now, dude.
Yeah, Rhinos are really good, but like with like a min max, like 5 2 wound Marines with like a special weapon inside of a Rhino. That's real good, dog. 9th edition all day. Fucking incredible. But yeah, that's our recap of the news GT. There's a roller coaster, as White said. There was some ups, some downs. Some of the same shit, different day, 2019 shit. Some new shit.
Yep. So hopefully it's a learning experience, I'm sure. Hopefully other TOs are monitoring the situation and kind of learn from these pitfalls. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I think, just moving forward, it's probably going to be a thing for a good long while that, like, if we're going to go to an event, it's like going to have to wear a mask, going to have to like minimize human contact, bring a bunch of hand sanitizer, stock up on that emergency a few days beforehand, kind of build that immune system.
Literally everything we were doing anyway, minus the masks.
Yes.
Also, handies and hugs. Like, I have to refrain. It's going to be hard.
Yeah. No touching.
I see a dude, minis in his hands in front of me, and I just want to touch him.
It's like me and cats. Just want to hug all the cats.
Mm-hmm. Every cat. Bow ties, baskets, everything.
You know what's up.
I do.
Little socks on our feet.
Oh.
It's the worst.
When this is all over, you and me, Rob, we need to get together, start a nonprofit cat ranch.
Cat Island.
Yep. Just a fucking island, just nothing but baskets and bow ties for cats.
Wow. Think about what a time to be alive.
I don't not passable, so.
Oh, so I got to do this? What's my line? So head on over to thelongwar.net for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.